hold my left mouse button down, this might be my glasses. I'm starting bottom right, I'm going to drag to the left. 6 tiles. Let go. Hit the little green arrow. And now that port is going to mount. And you notice up on the screen, the little squares have little green lights. That's good. And if you look at the back of the wall, if you were, now the lights are solid blue. Solid blue means the tiles have been mounted. Blinking lights, blinking blue means it has not been mounted. So we're good with that. We'll go get this little output icon right here. Go to the second port. Same thing, click again. Start right on top. Drag out 6, up 2. Arrow.
Oh yeah.
And now port 2 is been mounted. Solid blue lights all around, everything's good. Now to get this little arrow here back out.
Cool. I'm in the fucking movie, bro.
So now,
Resolution is
that little group of squares is my wall. That big white box is my content. So you can tell my content is much larger than the resolution of my screen. So all the screen is picking up the portion of the content it's sitting in.
okay.
So we're sitting a little kind of in the center towards the top.
What does
Now I
that
can
mean?
pick a single tile, or I can pick all the tiles, I can take one tile, move down here. And now that little blue tile, that was the top right, is now showing content that's in the bottom left of the content.
Oh.
Now, I don't think you'd ever do that. You could.
It's out of.
You'd more likely drag out and select the whole screen. Now, if I hold it, I can drag the screen across the content
Mm.
to pick which portion of the content I want to see.
Can you scale it down to?
Yep,
full-
I'm going to get the scaling in just a second. Alright. When I select all the tiles and I look to the right, I've got stuff I can do per tile. So here I can rotate. I can rotate 90 degrees. Now, it looks like it's all jacked up now, right? Even though I selected all the tiles, I've selected all of them individually. So when I rotate, I'm rotating all of them individually 90 degrees. Again, nothing you would ever do, but kind of reminds me of those little puzzles that you got to move little squares around.
Huh.
You'd have to be
Rubik's
missing.
Cube?
Is that what?
No.
Oh, the captchas.
Yeah.
The captchas on the internet thing?
Well,
Well,
see, I'm
no,
old
it's
school,
like
with a little piece of plastic, and you were
missing.
missing one stupid little cube, and you had to shift them all around to get it right in. It's just kind of what it reminds me of.
No, dude. Oh, you young as fuck.
So I can tell I'm old and you're younger.
Yeah, that's what I was telling
You
him.
immediately go to CAPTCHA, and I'm like, no, I'm talking about the stupid little plastic things.
Like, I was on the same page as you. I asked him, like, how old are you? He said 30. I'm like, yeah, you way too young.
Well, I still use the AOL free
I still
trial
use a
thing.
typewriter.
Well, see, he could be my son.
Right.
It's actually
I could have had I could have had that at a young age, you know.
Alright. We'll take that back, go back. And now if I were to right click here, and I can go to group. Now, I can set a different color for the group, so if you had multiple groups, you could set them all to different colors, you can give them all different names. This is row CB5 stage left, this is row CB5 stage right, give them different colors so you can actually tell what's what on your canvas here. But if I group them, now I don't have to do this large, I gotta select everything, I can just grab it and move it around. And now if I rotate, it rotates the entire thing as a complete group. And if you notice this, off to the right, you got all those little orange circles, and one of them is dark in different positions. and you notice the blue little circle in the middle of the groove. Think of that like a nail. You're pinning the wall and you're spinning the wall around that point. So I could pick a corner, I could pick this top center, the top right corner, and that's a pivot point. Scale. So I'm going to scaling, I can set my aspect ratio to 3. I can set it to 4 by 3. If I do that and I grab the corner and I do it, so I keep the 4 by 3 aspect ratio. I can select 16 by 9. I'll keep the 16 by 9 aspect ratio. If I were to select a single tile, so snap selection. Now all that content is squished down into one tile. So 3,840 pixels is now just squished to 216 pixels. 2160 has been squished to 260. Now, so you never do that. More likely you would select the entire wall. Snap to selection, and then you can scale the content to the whole wall. Yep. So I selected the whole wall, hit snap to selection, and it immediately scales the content immediately to the size of my wall. Now, the caveat in that is if this was a 4 by 3 aspect ratio and I had 16 by 9 content, I would see black banding on the top and the bottom. It's still content, but again, 16 by 9 has those black bands.
Damn.
The other thing that's up here that you probably wouldn't use, but I'll explain it real quick, is you'll see dimensions, and it's got left, top, width, height. Maybe hard to see.
Yeah.
But in my old Barco days, we called that a viewport. So you have to imagine the contents of the viewport. Let's say I want to cut out the parrot's head. You got to think of the top up here, at the top left is 0, 0. And then as I go to the right, it counts up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pixels. And I come down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pixels, right? Well, let's say I want to cut out a piece over here. Well, I'm going to say, okay, I want to start at pixel 50 in, pixel 50 down is my new start point. And I want you to show 50 pixels wide and 50 pixels tall. Basically what I'm doing is I'm doing like a crop tool. I'm cropping out a piece of that video, and now that becomes my new, that white box is my new video, and I can scale that. And I don't really see where you would use that really, but you could. You could just cut out a piece of video. These other boxes up here, color replace, 14-way CC, which stands for color correction, curves, 3D lookup table.